Hello again my friends, this is the boy and his dog, and welcome to the channel where I talk about, play, rank and review games on the Evercade, old and new. In today's episode we take a deeper purchase at June's Game of the Month. I know, sorry, it's late, time is evil, doesn't like me, and I don't much like it either. In fact, I'm liking it less and less with each passing year. It's a bit of a bitch. Let's get stuck in. The ancient kingdom of Nyghtmare, once thought lost to the cursed call, has returned. Undead and creatures of the night walk the streets. Whip-wielding Aaron and mastered knight Blizz have also awoken, seemingly unaffected by the call. Nyghtmare, the Ninth King, is a solo player platformer developed by LVs, I think I pronounced that right, and originally released in 2022. It's a homage to classic 8-bit handheld games. The funky Game Boy look is right up my alley, so that's always a good start. But let's not talk about the fidgets until we absolutely have to, okay? At the start you can choose between two characters and then play through the whole game as them. They each have a slightly different intro, which I liked, and both have unique skills. Blizz can smash through enemies and walls, and Erin can use her whip to hook on crowns to get her to those out of the way spots. And more on that bloomin' ability in a minute. Grumble, mumble, grumble. Regrettably, in my rush to get all the footage I wanted, some of it at the last minute, I didn't realise I hadn't actually recorded any with Blizz, as I mostly played through with Aaron. So I apologise there. There are 6 stages and they are massively big. Some can be got through relatively quickly if you know what you are doing and can master that bloomin' hook ability. Mumble, grumble, mumble. What will take more time, however, are the bosses. Learning their patterns and ultimately dispatching them. Aaron, for example, has quite the groovy slide move to slide through tight spaces or under a boss's attack. If you can master this, then boss battles can become quite fluid, as you can fly and slide around taking your pot shots or slaps on the whip. We will get into the controls in just a moment. Grumble, mumble, grumble. But I did enjoy the boss encounters overall and felt fulfilled when I finally beat each one. Both characters have their primary attack to get up and personal, and for distance a secondary weapon for Aaron, who can shoot, and Blizz can heal. You need to destroy lamps throughout each stage to gain a couple of bullets or more chances to heal, and get a good stock up for each boss. Of course they both, as mentioned previously, have unique abilities, Aaron with her ability to hook onto crowns and reach high areas, and Blizz's charge move which can destroy specific walls. So the game does feel a bit different depending on the character you play. However, and yes, we have finally reached the however part of this review, and I can't entirely blame this on the game itself, as there should be a remedy for this via the Evercade that for some reason just doesn't want to work properly. At least it didn't for me. And I am of course talking about the controls. Shoot is set to select and dash or slide depending on the character set to start, or joins the jump button along with pushing down. Start is awkward as feck, and jump and down would mostly be fine if it weren't for my bad bloody dual timing. I mean, you can play with this combination, but it's just awkward and my dumbass fingers go mental during boss fights, meaning trying to time slides is a bit of a nightmare for me, and get start and select muddled in the heat at the moment far too many times than I like to admit, which is straight away a lie as I've just admitted it. I of course completely get this is more a me thing than an A thing, but it still affects my enjoyment to play the game. It's hard. However, Evercade has the awesome control mapping feature, doesn't it? So if you don't like a layout, change it. So I did. But every time I changed it and played, what I'd chosen was not what it changed to. It had gone mental, assigning moves to a ridiculous combination of buttons. So I had to turn it back to the original, which is sort of fine, but just awkward and fiddly for me and my stupid brain. Again, I don't know if this is a general issue or just a random issue I have with this game, so I have to wait and see when the cart finally drops. But it will definitely affect my final view in the ranking if it remains as mental as it is. Also, I just can't seem to do the hook thing every time. It seems to work randomly for me. One section I swear I had to do it like 14 times because I simply couldn't do it, and then suddenly I did it. I don't know what I was doing wrong before and then what I did different then. But it finally worked. Overall, I found a fair amount to enjoy in this game with the duo playable characters, the, for me, lovely Game Boy feel to it, and the fun to learn boss fights. But the button layout and random mappable button combinations made it much more frustrating than it needed to be. Hopefully that is only an issue for this game of the month, so I will of course reserve my final judgment when I do the final ranking episode, hoping they fix that. And if you've made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. Either way, I'm just chuffed you put your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope you're having the most awesomest of days, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.